大家晚上好。Good evening, friends, and especially residents of Aokang SMC, Aljunied GRC, and Punggol East SMC. Tonight, the Workers' Party starts off its first rally at Aokang SMC. We do this to remind ourselves of one fundamental truth. Without Aokang, the Workers' Party would not have Aljunied or Punggol East. We remember you, Aokang! This evening, I would like to talk on a topic that has hogged the media headlines and front page news for nearly 2 years. The topic is Aljunied Aokang Punggol East Town Council. Yes, I'm the chairman of AHPTC, and I'm proud of it. Let me first talk about 4 myths about AHPTC and debunk those myths. Myth number 1, WP uses AHPTC to reserve contracts for friends. This is false. After the Workers' Party took over Aljunied Town Council, it called open public tenders for the managing agent contract and the contract to run the Essential Maintenance Services Unit, or EMSU. These tenders were called in 2012 and were advertised in the Straits Times newspaper as required by the Town Council financial rules. We called open tenders for these contracts again in 2014 and 2015. Anyone can submit a bid for a public tender. AHPTC does not and cannot reserve contracts for friends. There was one exceptional situation just after the general election when a tender was not called for MA services for a short period of 1 year. Why? First, the former managing agent appointed by the PAP told us that it did not want to continue under WP. There was also very urgent work needed to take over from the PAP management, especially because the Town Council management software used to run Aljunied TC was terminated with 1 month's notice by a software owner, a PAP company called AIM. Under these urgent circumstances, the Town Council decided to award a very short 1-year contract to the newly formed FM Solutions and Services Private Limited without tender to take over the initial management of the Town Council for 1 year only. This was in order to ensure a smooth takeover of the town management to avoid any disruption in services to our residents. Such a waiver is allowed under the Town Council financial rules. Once matters stabilized after 1 year, public tenders were called in 2012. So, did we breach any Town Council financial rules in awarding contracts to FMSS? No, we did not. Did we act in the residents' interest? Yes, we did. Myth number 2, WP's Town Council overpaid its managing agent. First, please note that this allegation of overpayment was not made by the Auditor General's office or by any auditors. It is the mantra of the PAP government and its proxy, the Ministry of National Development. What is overpayment? AHPTC called the tender for MA services in 2012. If you look at the managing agent rates at that time, you will see that there were different rates and prices across even the PAP towns. In that year, based on MND data, MA rates for residential units in PAP towns range from the low end of $5 in Tampines Town Council to a high of $7.80 in Potong Pasir Town Council, a difference of $2.80 per unit. So if PAP says that we overpaid based on an average, Then, many PAP town councils also overpaid, including Nee Soon Town Council and Sembawang Town Council. When Workers' Party assessed the MA price proposal in 2012, we took into account the price charged by PAP's managing agent for Aljunied Town, which was reasonable because it was managing the same town. We also factored in the cost of some additional requirements, including running an additional office in Kaki Bukit Division that we set up for residents' convenience. Our tender exercise was reviewed by 3 different auditors, our own external consultants, and then by the AGO, and then PricewaterhouseCoopers. Nobody made any finding that we did not exercise due diligence in assessing the tender price. Today, we find another angle that the PAP and MND are playing up, that in their view, FMSs made too much profits. How much profits is too much? We don't know how much the MAs in PAP town councils are making. Is MND saying that all town councils are supposed to check on their contractors' profitability before confirming the contract price? Does MND do that to their own contractors? Myth number 3, AHPTC allowed the managing agent to freely sign checks to themselves. This is again rubbish. When WP took over in 2011, one of the first decisions made by the new town council was to require any checks to the MA, no matter how small the amount, to require the counter signature of the chairman, myself, or the vice chairman, Peng Eng Huat or Pritam Singh. I repeat, it is not possible for any payment to be made to FMSS without the check being countersigned by myself, Peng Eng Huat or Pritam Singh. When we countersign checks, we have to satisfy ourselves that the claims are according to the contract and correctly calculated. There have been times when I've rejected checks, when I find errors or I need further explanation. The town council now has no managing agent, as its MA contract expired nearly 2 months ago. We are now a directly managed town council with in-house staff, and we are managing fine. The 4th myth, AHPTC Town Council is in financial difficulties and cannot sustain its operations. Let me first explain what AHPTC had to manage in the first few years before updating you on the current status. AHPTC incurred significant but necessary expenses in the initial years. The takeover required us to incur various start-up costs, including the cost of a new IT system to replace the one terminated by AIM. Our lift costs increased tremendously from the time under PAP management, partly because of additional lifts from the LUP program, and also our decision to bring many lifts back to being maintained by the original equipment manufacturer for safety reasons. We also faced higher tender prices for major contracts such as conservancy and cleaning due to higher costs as well as fewer tenderers coming forward. These tender prices went up by between 13% to as much as 88%. We also spent money on repairs to aging blocks and installed a new lift at the Block 105 Hainan East Market for the elderly and disabled with no funding from the government. Despite these and other challenges, I'm pleased to update you that the Town Council has managed to turn things around. This came about through lower admin expenditure and using contestable energy and increases in revenue. If you look at our latest audited accounts for financial year 2014 to 15, the Town Council has an operating deficit, but this is because the MND still owes us our annual operating grant of 7.2 million. When the grant is finally received, the Town Council would show a surplus for the year of $1.7 million. So going forward, we are confident that the financial position of the Town Council will continue to improve. Are we ready to take on another Town Council? Yes. I say this for the following reasons. 1, We have learned from the experience of taking over Aljunied GRC. 2. We have 7 MPs with direct TC management experience at GRC level. 3. We are aware of the potential risk areas. 4. We have learned a lot from the Auditor General's audit and made improvements to the areas highlighted. Many of the observations of our former auditors have been cleared, with some remaining that require information from other parties. My friends, have you asked yourself why the PAP and MND is spending so much time on AHPTC? Have you asked yourself this question? Here are some reasons. After WP took over Aljunied Town Council, our residents' lives went on as per normal. Even the MND grades us consistently green in cleanliness and leaf breakdowns, and amber in maintenance, the same as many other town councils. Financial management is the area where we have some difficulties, and so the PAP and MND subject WP to microscopic scrutiny and constant attacks to shake your confidence in WP. AGO audit for 10 months, special parliamentary debate for 2 days, High Court case. Even after this election was called last week, I received 2 more letters from MND questioning me about AHBTC. Did I know this? Did I know that? What is my answer to this? What is my answer to that? I thought the civil service only worked 5-day week, but I received letters on Saturday and Sunday as well. They are probably listening to our speeches now. They are as good as a 24/7 EMSU unit. Finally, my friends, there's a saying, no pain, no gain. The PAP is trying to make it painful for other political parties to succeed in town council management so that the public will be afraid of voting for other parties. Is this the behavior we expect of a first world government? Our Workers' Party Town Council has pulled through the last few years despite many challenges and being carpet bombed because we know that these are necessary pains. If we do not do our best to overcome these challenges, there will only be one political party who can manage town councils at GRC level. And this will set Singapore's political development back. Do you want to be stuck with no choice? It is up to you. You must play your part to build an alternative to the PAP so that Singaporeans can embrace the future with confidence and without fear. Empower your future. Vote Workers' Party.